All right, Jenkins, did you have a good Christmas? Yeah? What, this? Yeah, it's a Christmas present. What did you get? A lump of coal? Well, I did tell you to stop doing it, didn't I? So hello and Happy New Year to you. If you're watching this just at the beginning of the new year, if you're watching it in the middle of the year, won't make any sense to you at all. But Happy New Year all the same. Wait a minute. That's better. Hello and welcome to Tweed Schedule. In this video we're going to be doing some vintage motoring, hence the hat, in the Riley. Big surprise, I know. Had a few hours to spare New Year's Eve and nipped down the garage and thought we'd have a go at getting the Riley started. Well, not started, getting it running and driving, as I'd been putting it off and finding jobs to get in the way to sort of stop me, you know, having to drive it and then find out that I'd done something horrible and it all go horribly wrong. So jobs I had to do was put the bonnet back on, just sort of go over it quickly, make sure everything was buttoned down like it should be, run round, do all the tyres, make sure the tyre pressures were up, top the radiator back up. What else did we do? Check that the HTDs are all tight. The one thing I had to do was, because I haven't got around to doing the front valance yet, the number plate hangs off of that. So just for a day, I cable tied the number plate to the front chassis cross member with a bit of foam behind it just to stop it sort of moving around. Yeah, so that was okay, that was all right. And yeah, and then decided to take it for a little drive up and down the little back access road we got here, just to see if it would run and if it would behave itself, which it did, which it seemed to. You know, it's a bit grumpy because it's just been rebuilt, so everything's a bit tight, but yeah, every sort of run up and down it got a little bit better. Brakes seemed okay, gears are fine. It's just my inability to be able to change them smoothly at the moment. Yeah, we've had some real horrors with the gear changes. The problem is, I found when I was out on the run, is that the idle speed is too high. But when the engine was first running, because it was tight, you needed a higher idle speed, otherwise it would just sort of peter out. So having been on a run, or did I go on a run, who knows, you have to wait and see. I found that the idle speed was sort of a lot higher, and of course that just sort of affected the gear changes. That's my excuse anyway, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, so there's a little bit of us running up and down the road, and then we went over to a motoring event, or a motoring meet on New Year's Day, which was today, the Phoenix pub in Phoenix Green, which is in Hampshire. It's sort of near between Hartley, Whitney and Hook. And yeah, it's been going for years, long established. I think originally the Vintage Sports Car Club started from there, something to do with Jenkins. He lived over that way, lived not far away from Phoenix Green. Yeah, and then gradually as the years go on, the sort of vintage cars dropped away a little bit. The American boys come along, so there's quite a lot of American cars, and a lot of sort of you know, newer classics that the youngsters like. So yeah, we're going to have a look. Come with me and have a look. Right, off we go. Cheers, fella. Big one. Yeah. One Vicar owner from new. Bible in the glove box.
Happy New Year, mate.
And then when you start,
Well, I've seen BF around. Yeah.
was that today's shenanigans?
I looked up on the other day, like 14 days. Oh God, I just want to know. Let's get the phone out and have a look then.
It's easier to ask you.
Well, you may not know.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
Yeah, all right, thanks. I wondered if you'd show up soon.
Yes. Engine back together? The engine's all sorted. Took the engine down to him in a trailer and took the flywheel off. And then he had... I didn't take... What's the most...
I got a States Captain Fox, which is an animal video uploaded before I just cast it. That's like 27 million. And I've got
I've been reading lots of things to see where they said if you order.
So there you go, sort of an interesting mix of motors and some very high standard of restorations. And yeah, I think Gladstone was probably one of the scruffiest ones there. Well, apart from the GN, but you know, there's something nice in there's something charming about them in their sort of saggy, baggy condition. But yeah, Gladstone held up well on the way over there. So then we sort of had to tighten a spark plug because it was blowing a little bit by the time I got there. Nip that down, check the oil fine, check the water was fine. So fired him up and headed back home. And it was all going swimmingly well until we got to about 7 miles away from home, and just coming down a hill, and you can sort of hear it starting to sort of peter out, and yeah, the sort of engine just died, and we had to pull in crestfallen at the side of the road. Get my little triangle out. I'd recommend one of these actually. My brother-in-law gave me this, but this is quite handy, especially being a black car, sort of you know, very matte finish on a sort of dingy winter's day on a country lane. It helps no end. So yeah, opened the bonnet and had a little rummage around. First thought it was sparks. It felt like the sparks died away. So we checked the plug, checked the points gap on the magneto. Was the first thing to do. That was fine. Maybe a little bit, you know, about a thou bigger than it sort of should have been. I think the pad's worn in a little bit. So I adjusted that down as best I could. Didn't have the little BA spanners to do it, but you know, managed to sort of do it. And then checked with taking one of the spark plug leads off, holding it towards the sort of cam covers, turning it over, that we had a nice spark there. So that was okay. We had ignition, so, and it still wouldn't start, so it was pointing to fuel. So dived into the carburetor, checked that we got petrol, checked the fuel filter that I put on. That was okay, flow of fuel. So then I thought about jets. So undone the jet chamber capping nut, took that out, and you know, the petrol come out, took the needle out, and had a look at it, blew through it, and it was all clear. And then all of a sudden, it suddenly dawned on me that the jet shouldn't have come out with the cap. It should have stayed in the carburettor, but it unscrewed itself and dropped down. So put it back in, managed to get a long nose pair of pliers to sort of do it up for now. There's sort of a square nut on the end. They're quite awkward to do up, so I need to sort of get underneath or drop the carb off and make sure that's done up nice and tight for the next time. Pop that in. And off he went again. So then we drove the rest of the way home without incident. So there you go, nice little car show, and the weather held. It is now tipping down with rain again this evening. So I don't know if the rest of you are getting fed up with everything being damp and horrible. It's coming in the garage, in the workshop, everywhere. But it was just nice. The roads were dry, and yeah, it was a nice drive over there, nice drive back. If quite tiring because it's extremely involved driving older cars. You know, you're literally sort of dancing with the pedals, you know, having to sort of move the ignition advance retard all the time, balance the throttle because otherwise the car pops and bangs, you know, and getting the hang of the gear changes. I think if I can drop that idle down, I think there'll be a lot better and a bit more practice as well. So yeah, hopefully the gearbox will forgive me and we'll go out for another run another time. But what I'll do next time is like a sort of Top Gear review, and I'll sort of take you around it, take you for a drive and show you it out in the daylight rather than buried in this garage all the time. So, quite successful. There we go. Riley back on the road. That'll keep a few of you quiet. And hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time. Cheerio. Get a classic car, they said. It'd be easy to get into, they said. Right. So with a few. Hello, welcome to Tweed's Garage. We're in this episode. We're in this episode. The Tweed's Garage. We're in this episode. We're in this video